On this week's episode, we talk about so many new things.
Yeah, we watched 3 movies. I mean, we watch more movies, but we're going to talk about 3 movies. Triple feature. We saw CODA on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. Reminiscence on HBO Max.
And we just got back from the theaters where we saw The Night House.
We'll also cover some other pop culture news. So, where do you want to start?
Well, let's start from the one we like the most to the one that I like the least. So let's start with The Night House.
Oh, a cruel joke, my friend.
Kidding. No, we saw. I mean, it was in following the events, real time events chronologically. Mm-hmm. We watched CODA, Reminiscence, and
The Night House.
And for a coincidence, that's, how we like them.
The order of preference.
Better. They're very different movies. They're different to compare. But, if you think how a movie impacts you and makes you feel, definitely that's the order we put them on. So, CODA. What's CODA?
So, this title has a double meaning. I first recognized it as a musical term. A coda is like a special extra ending at the end of a song. But it's also an acronym referring...
For children of deaf adults. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, a little bit of behind the scenes from this movie. So, this movie was very popular at Sundance. It won a lot of awards, the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah. Mm-hmm. So the movie did really well there. Audience and critics it received a lot of praise. Mm-hmm. So when movies come to Sundance, studios and streaming companies, if you don't want to call them studios, distributors. Mm-hmm. They go into a bid war, to get the movies. They're like, whoa, this movie is good. Everybody's like. Let's buy it. They buy it, and they either show on the screens, meaning the theaters, or on your small screen at home. Mm-hmm. So last year, what was Palm Springs with Andy Samberg and Christine Milioti. Is that Christine?
Was that her in that one?
Yeah.
The mother?
Yeah, it was a mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And J.K. Simmons. Mm-hmm. Among other people, that movie we talked about, a Groundhog Day for this
Millennial Groundhog Day.
Yes, and that movie was like huge. Mm-hmm. It got, I think, was bought by $20 million, if I'm not wrong. So this year was the movie was CODA. CODA was big. So Apple outbid everybody, and paid $25 million.
I think it was a record, wasn't it?
It was to this day.
To
this day is the record. For instance, the movie cost $10 million, so it's a big profit right there.
Yeah.
So Apple is showing on Apple Plus for subscribers, and the movie is also available at the movie theaters for anybody to see. We usually recommend.
Yes.
And a little bit of the plot, which is basically exposed in the trailers, and
it's a very simple plot.
And it consists of a series of archetypes and movie tropes that we see in many movies. But go in a little bit of the plot.
Yeah, so the plot's pretty simple. It's centered on Ruby Rossi, yeah. Ruby Rossi. She's a teenager. She's like 17, I think, and she has a brother, mom and dad, and out of her whole family of 4, she's the only one who's not deaf. They are fishermen in, I think it was Massachusetts.
Yes.
So she works with her dad and her brother on the fishing boat early in the morning, and then she goes to school, and we find out that she loves to sing. And so the plot just kind of centers around that, the dynamic of her being the only hearing person in her family, and her responsibilities and the way they rely on her to interpret and kind of be a liaison or go-between between the deaf world and the hearing world. And some of the tensions there, her own coming of age as she's figuring out what she wants to do with her life. Is she's gonna stay with the family business? Is she gonna pursue music and go to college for that? And also some of the
boy.
Yes, there's a boy. And also some of the challenges her family's going through with their own business, and some of the struggles there. So overall, if you were to like really simplify it, I'd say it's a coming of age story, but there's a lot of other things going on, and it's really beautifully and carefully made, I think.
Yeah, and has that, I talked about, I said something about cinema, movie tropes. There's the whole, family and dream, Michael Corleone, you have to stay with the family. I was like, no, I don't have anything to do with this. I want my own life, my own dreams. So she goes through that, what they call debate, no, to that dilemma. To that dilemma. But besides that, there's some very interesting peculiarities about the movie. Mom, dad, and older brother, they are actually deaf actors. And
Marlee Matlin, it would be a really recognizable face. I didn't recognize the others.
Yeah,
but they delivered stellar performances.
Yes, they're really great. And if we go check their profile, their resume, they are like very well accomplished actors. They worked a lot. They work hard, and it culminates with this because the movie is really simple. The story is simple, but it's well written. It does not feel like it drags at any time. The movie is smooth in sails to the screen, like the fish boats they sail, and the young actress is really good.
Yeah,
she had to learn how to do the sign language and how to fish too, because they really do it. There's even some curiosity about how during the shootings they had a state what they call
like a monitor
to make sure they were doing everything properly. But in this dilemma about family and she wants to become her own self, and it's really simple, but it's really beautiful. It has music, but it's not a musical per se. I mean, people will not break out of character and sing.
Yeah.
But the music worked as a narrative tool. Just like it breaks you in some moments. Some key moments of the movie. It's like there's a song that you think she's singing for the boy. And at a moment you find out that it's not about the boy. It's about the relationship with the girl with her father. It's really good.
It is really good. Something I loved about it, it's a story about like really niche. There's like some really niche stories, like the deaf community thing, the fishing community, but it also felt like really like universal and relatable. Like it kind of reminded me of other stories like To Kill a Mockingbird or A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. These things where they're very specific and local stories, but they just speak to everybody because we recognize those feelings. Or there's one scene in particular that really got to me. It's at a recital. So this is like her first time really performing and singing, and she has this duet with a boy, and she invites her parents to come. But the thing is, they can't hear anything, and so this musical performance, like, this is not something they've really done before, and so she starts to sing, and they cut the audio, which they didn't really do very much in the film, but they cut the audio, so we get to kind of experience the performance the way that her family did, and we can see how, like, they love her, and they're supportive, and they're proud of her, but there's also this kind of divide. Like, this isn't really something they can totally understand until at the very end of the movie, her dad, she goes outside to sit with her dad, and he tells her to sing, and she starts singing, and he puts his hands over her voice box so he can feel her voice, and he tells her to sing like louder and louder, and it's really beautiful. Yeah, you just you gotta see it. It's like it's a great film.
It is really beautiful. It's really good, but also it's really funny.
Yes.
This family of deaf people, they have so much fun together, you know.
They do,
and sometimes it's fun at cost of the daughter that can hear, because she has to. She has to translate what they saying, what they feel into the world, and sometimes that means the F word. That means S my D word, and
yeah, and we see too, like, it's not just like language that has to get translated. There's like a whole other culture, and like lifestyle differences too that other people don't entirely understand. Like, one thing at the beginning of the movie, she's at home, she's trying to do homework, but her family is so loud because they just don't have any concept of how much noise they're making, like cleaning the grill or like setting the table and stuff. So the house is so loud, and then her parents are very affectionate and super into each other, and they make a lot of noise in the bedroom.
Yeah,
they don't realize that like the whole house can hear them because it's not an issue. But yeah. So there's things like that you realize it's not even just like sign or reading lips or anything. There's a lot to this,
it's very,
they expose it really beautifully.
It's very interesting. It's a very American story. People working hard to survive and to be happy. In this case, they are very specific in each. They are part of a group that, if anything, you talk about what's the word they use, representation or diversity and stuff like that. It's a group that it could be part of every other group of race, of gender, political views, but even that they're like a minority among minorities. But they're still working hard. They fighting through the struggles and obstacles that everybody has. Plus, they have this obstacles and struggles, but they are able to overcome that and live happy and do their best among them with family and working hard out there. The movie is available on Apple Plus. It's fresh. It just premiered on Apple Plus, and is also the movie. The movie's out there. It's beautiful. It's touching, and it would be no surprise if it gets nominations everywhere, because the way they use music, the writing, the movie is like sales, and it's beautifully done. The images.
It is.
I can't remember the name of the place, but somewhere on the coast of Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's everything a movie should be. It's a good example of like really solid filmmaking matched up with just a really great story to tell. Yeah. So I'd love to see it nominated.
Yeah, and Apple definitely, but got their money. Worth.
Money well spent.
Yeah. So, CODA available on Apple Plus and movies out there. That's the first one we saw this week. We also saw the new Hugh Jackman movie called
Reminiscence.
Is Reminiscence?
Yes.
Reminiscence. With Hugh Jackman, Rebecca Ferguson, Thandie Newton, and a couple other people, and it was interesting. Yeah. It was definitely a little bit different from what I got from the trailer. But it was enjoyable. The movie is very, very, very heavy noir. Yes. It has like elements of noir films that I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Which in the trailer I didn't have that feeling.
It did not at all. The trailer had me think, oh, this is a Nolan knockoff. And it turns out there's a reason for that. First of all, it was not fair to me to call it a knockoff. It's not. But this was written and directed by Lisa Joy, who is married to Jonathan Nolan, who's behind Westworld.
Who worked together on Westworld, yeah.
Yes, they worked together on that. And Jonathan Nolan is, of course, Christopher Nolan's brother. Yeah. So, there's a reason that the plot has a lot of like those elements, a lot of that vibe.
Thandie Newton is there too.
Yes.
From
Thandie Newton, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. The girl, she's a what they call harlot, dancer on the Wild West.
Oh yes, yeah, she was one of the prostitutes
on the Westworld. One of the actresses that portrayed that, she's also in this movie.
Yeah, Clementine
from Westworld. So it's like heavy noir, but it's a noir in the future where the water, the levels of the sea went up. And this is on the trailer, there's no spoilers. Went up, so the city of Miami is called the Sunken Coasts now, because the city is like they lost part of the city, right? They have big walls, which don't ask me, it still don't make a lot of sense to me. They have the inside wall for the neighborhood of rich people, and they have one outer wall. And
it's more like a dam.
Yeah, situation. but the outer wall doesn't make a lot of sense to me,
because how do you dam the entire ocean or like an entire coastline?
Yeah, it had to be.
I don't know.
Anyways, so Sunken Coast of Miami, so is in this future. In this future, Hugh Jackman works and have the technology to access people's memories. And they hire him for many reasons, mostly nostalgia, reminiscence of good old times.
Because it's not just accessing them, like it's also the ability to let people relive them like completely and thoroughly. They can like feel and smell and all of that stuff.
Yes, they go into tanks to have the whole sensorial aspects of that. So still on the trailer, not getting spoilers. Hugh Jackman is this guy. He also works for the local police. The
DA gets him to interrogate people,
accessing memories of suspects, criminals, etc. But he's there doing his, kind of a private investigator of memories of the future, and comes this really beautiful lady in red.
Yes.
Oh, I lost my keys. Can you help me? Very noir.
It was classic, yeah.
Oh, and he narrates the movie. That's like another noir thing. It's like, I would always remember the first time I saw her.
Yeah, and then she walks in, legs for days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another noir aspect.
Oh, no, still about her. She sings in a club called Coconut Club.
Yes.
So it's like super noir.
So noir. And then as if that wasn't enough, because the Earth's temperature has risen so much, it's too hot for people to function during the day. So the whole city of Miami's gone nocturnal. So everything happens at night. Just to really drive home.
Yes.
That this is.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah.
So the movie is this noir detective-esque story about.
He's got his plucky assistant who's always trying to whip him into shape.
Yes.
But it's really good. It's not cheesy. It's really good.
No, it's good. It's good. And just to stop about the story, the pretty lady, the romantic interest of our hero,
Rebecca Ferguson,
she disappears. Yes. So he's going to investigate that into a very interesting and complex plot about. Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. I enjoyed it. It's beautifully photographed.
Yes.
And it's in this future. So it's a sci-fi noir. Hugh Jackman is, Hugh Jackman. He's really good and everything.
Everybody does great.
Yeah, he's the greatest showman. What else can we talk about it?
The movie's called Reminiscence, and it also kind of plays with this idea of getting stuck in nostalgia and getting stuck in your own past. Because a few times during the film, like, you think you're watching what's happening in the present, but then you realize you're actually in a memory. And I don't want to give too much away, but just they kind of play with that a little bit, which is very Nolan-esque, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to detract from her writing, because this is her story. Yeah. But it is Nolan-esque, and it is a cool way to tell a story.
It is cool because you don't know if this is reality, like as now, or if it's something that already happened. And sometimes it comes and it's like, oh, okay, which is fun. It's a good tool, a narrative tool.
I feel like they kind of cut corners with the ending. The rest of the film was good enough. I'm not gonna like complain about it or anything, but it felt a little hasty and convenient.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It was so noir. It's so classic elements of cinema noir that it's like the first time I saw the main culprit, the main villain, I was like, that's the guy. And it was the guy. But you know,
but the plot takes us a lot of other places, and so it's a very interesting whodunit noir, because you think like, oh, that's the guy, but then we don't see him for a while.
Yeah.
And we have to go on this whole other like journey of discovery, where like who's good, who's bad, in a crazy world like this, who knows? And it was fun. It was well done.
Yeah, and again, Hugh Jackman is great. He delivers. And the movie is good. I'm a little bit surprised because this week we saw, as I said, we saw the Night House and we saw Reminiscence, and I checked on what the other critics were talking about, and they really loved Night House, and they kind of didn't like much, if even hate, the Reminiscence, which for us personally was the other way.
Yeah. But I feel like we're often at odds with the critics.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty much. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was just surprised because it's not a movie that both movies. It's not. I mean, I don't know how Reminiscence is doing in the box office, but we just left the theater and there was like crowds leaving Free Guy. So Free Guy is still doing really well
and saying good things about it too.
Yes, like people are excited about it. So so it's not like a big movie that is gonna have a lot of. We're gonna hear a lot because the critics will become news because there's a lot of people watching, and you're gonna hear a lot of the people watching. It's the movie's kind of like under the radar, more or less, especially Night House. So I was kind of surprised that, but again, it's like, critics might read some stuff, super text that is on a movie, and sometimes it's like most of us don't go watch movies because of subtext. We watch movies to be to be touched, like CODA touched us, to have fun, like Free Guy did, to read like social commentary in this scene and in this blah blah blah, or it's not always the case. So maybe some critics overread that, and that's and maybe that's why I thought Reminiscence was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was. I recommend it. I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah. Anything else about?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that's it. Reminiscence is out in the theaters, and if you have HBO Max, is available until I think September 19. Is available there for you to watch in 4K. Last but not least, or maybe least, The Night House.
Yes, this is a new thriller/horror from starring Rebecca Hall, and I just want to get out right up front. Rebecca Hall acted the heck out of this movie.
Yes.
She has nothing to do with what's wrong with it, as far as I can tell.
And the trailer was really good.
Yes.
And that's what made us wanted to watch, because it was like, oh, this is cool. And if you saw the trailer, and just one thing about Rebecca Hall, she did great in this one. And if you saw her on the Gift, I think it's called The Gift.
Yeah, I was thinking of
The
that
Gift.
actually.
Yeah,
she's good at this.
She does this well, and in this one she kind of does like alone pretty much all the time, even when he's, with. I'm not gonna say. Anyways, so the trailer was really good, and if you saw the trailer, there's this house, and this lady that recently lost her husband. He killed himself in the house. We joked when we saw the trailer, like, why do you still live there? But she started having visions, nightmares.
Yeah.
And
kind of paranormal experiences, but maybe they're dreams.
And she goes across the lake. It's a lake house. She goes across the lake, and there's a house that's just the same.
But it's the mirror image.
Yeah, so the whole mirror is it's like a different timeline, a different dimension, different Earth on the multiverse, And I thought it was like something like that, and actually, not spoiling it, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, instead they kind of go pretty hard with like demons and death and stuff like that. And I will say there's good acting, cool set design and everything. And there were some jump scares. Granted, for me, that's a very low bar. It doesn't take much to make me jump. I jumped the same place in the Quiet Place 2 trailer, like, every week for a year. So, like, granted, it's a very low bar. But there were some good jump scares. My heart was pounding a few times. That said, the plot, like, I felt like it just kind of dragged a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was not crazy about how they wrapped things up at all. Because as someone who personally has dealt with like depression and suicidal ideation and some of that stuff, they basically were saying that like, yeah, suicide's great. Not that suicide's great, but like they made it. There were a couple things that like people dealing with do not need to hear. That first of all, your depression is contagious and you can like drive the people around you into this, and that second, that by killing yourself you can save the people you love. Like, it's not great messaging. Even if it's not what they meant,
and it's beyond, and some of that is beyond the metaphor. It's actually a fact in the narrative.
Yeah, like that's the plot.
But it's just like
So
it's I don't know. Go watch and tell us. I thought it was, if anything, Rebecca Hall does this terrific job.
Yes.
And one thing that I thought it was interesting is like she's not the damsel in distress. She's not the the lead pretty lady that is gonna go through all this. She's kind of a jerk sometimes to the people that are close to her. She's kind of like all over the place. She's like and it's not like she's like goes some other movies you could see, so I'm sorry, no, she's kind of a really lost in her ways, and she's angry.
She's grieving. It's not pretty.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting because it goes away from the whole running lady, leading lady that is scared and pure and innocent, and everybody loves her and all that. Yeah. No, this one is a little bit more realistic.
She's not the cheerleader on prom night in a slasher film. Yeah.
No, in this case, she's a little bit more real, more raw. For instance, not spoiling much. There's one. No, I'm not gonna spoil. But the way she deals with people, I was like, okay, this is kind of realistic. But there's some things that happen in the beginning of the movie that, first, I mean, for me personally, they kind of showed me, gave me a theory, but it was more than a theory because it ended up happening. I was pretty sure that would be the case, and it was the case. But I was still hoping for extra dimension and a multiverse and there was nothing like that. Yeah,
you're right, there was nothing.
The Night House with Rebecca Hall and several other people. It's out in the theaters. If you want to check this thriller, that's it's I don't know. It's like Reminiscence. I would definitely watch again someday. Yeah. If someone asked me, hey, let's watch CODA. I would watch away. Like, let's watch again.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that that tell me how I like the movie. If the movie is over and I'm willing to watch it right after, let's watch it again. That's one thing, and that was one. The Night House? Nah.
Yeah.
let's watch this movie. It's like, you know what? There's a really good movie
Here's
called
my list of other films.
CODA, or you can watch Free Guy, or you can watch, Suicide Squad or Reminiscence, or
Yeah, you gotta love.
Oh, if you want to go for thrillers, there's other thrillers too. That Anyways, that's what we saw this week at the movies, theater, streaming services. But we also saw other things.
Yes. For example, the finale of the White Lotus. Would you describe that as a miniseries?
It's what they're calling is, because they're gonna be another season, and they're gonna but another season is gonna be a different place, different characters. It's what they call an anthology. Anthology series. Each season is a different story. Some like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
They did. They kept the same actors most of the time. Most of the actors. I don't know. They could use the same actors, but it would be different characters. But it's not clear if they're gonna keep the same actors.
I don't know. They had a good cast. It was fun.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it depends on the character, right? Because not every actor is a method actor. So some of the other actors are the system actors. So you don't cast. You don't cast for the. How do they say? You don't cast the actor for the role. You write the role for the actor.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Well, either way. It was really fun.
It was a fun ride.
And the finale drew a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
1.9 million.
Yeah,
so
the curiosity of the populace, it's like, who did it? Who did it? Who dies?
Who dies? Yeah, who's the victim?
Yeah.
And
in this case, I mean, there was a someone who did it, but it wasn't really like murder per se.
Yeah, it was. I mean, do we want to spoil it or?
No, let's not spoil it.
Okay.
Let's keep it. We spoiler free tonight, so let's not.
Okay. Yeah, but suffice it to say, I feel like throughout the show they did a really great job of making it seem like anybody could have been the murderer, anybody could have been the victim, and when it finally happened, I thought it all made sense. I was very satisfied. And overall, it was well written and really fun. And I would love to see another season, provided they stick with this anthology format.
Oh yes.
Because if it's the same people again, that would get kind of ridiculous. Murder just follows.
No, there's a very announced. It's gonna be anthological. They're gonna do different place, different characters, and for me, I kind of tend to overthink things, and. I thought it was too obvious that whoever dies, and so I eliminate that person like right away, because it's stimuli. Anyways, I'm not gonna get much into details, but it was well done. It was like the lives of the people that went to the White Lotus, they changed forever. If you mean after everything. Some for good, some for bad. Mostly change for good, I would say. Yeah. But to get to the good they went through, they had to go through literally hell, which is ironical, super ironical.
They were in paradise.
Because they were in paradise.
Yeah. And I guess that's probably the strength of the show. Like, the suspense aspect was great. Because
the soundtrack was something else.
It was a little weird. But you're promised a murder in the first 3 minutes of the series. You're promised a murder, and then we don't see the murder until the last 20 minutes.
We do see a character right in the beginning that he's pissed. So it draws a lot, because it's like we the only character we see in the future, in the flash forward, if you make, he's really pissed. And someone died. So that's the only thing, Yeah,
so you have a lot of suspense built in that way. But besides the suspense of who dies and who did it, this cast of characters is so interesting and goes through so much development that alone was pretty intriguing and compelling. Yeah. For me, and so I think that's why it was so successful. It's not just suspense. There's a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, and it's short, but every character goes to development.
Yeah.
And they have death. They have something about them that at first we, you know, it's like you judge a book by the cover. It's like, okay, this. But then they all go to this development.
Like midlife crises and coming of age crises and relationship crises and just everybody's a mess. And so I thought it was a great series.
It was fun.
Definitely recommend watching it. Especially now that you can just like binge the whole thing. Save yourself some agony.
I think agony is part of the fun.
Yeah.
I used to say that about Lost. I had friends that we would follow back in college, and Lost was. I started watching Lost. I think I watched the first episode, and then I abandoned. And then I decided to. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a chance. My sister was watching. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance. And then I binged first season, second season. I think that was it. And then third season was out. And so we start following weekly, and in fact, third season is, my personal opinion, is when the show actually starts to be smoke and mirrors and going more into depth of even the mystery that they want to create. Because first season is like, oh, the island, oh, what's this, oh, what's that, oh, the others. Second season, oh, the others, the other others, you know. And coincidentally, after the second season, they got renewed and they got a deal for 5 seasons. Yeah. And after they got the deal, that's like, okay, now let's write
this. That's when they got to like big arcs.
They created the arcs and developed the characters better. And so, but there was some seasons of Lost, like the last season, that every episode was like manifesto of what's going on. There's a theory of what's going on here in the island. And if you watch that if you binge that, you know, you don't have that week or two, depends on the time. Two, it's like, oh, so this is what's going on, you know, to debate, to talk by the water cooler, you know, to think about it.
It's a different experience.
Yeah, if you binge it, it's like, so I think this shows like the you know, the weight is part of the process. It's part of the, you know. Yes,
that's true. It draws out the suspense, gives you lots of time to think, and work through all of the what the hex. But if you're able to binge it, it's something.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's true.
And it is very bingeable, I think, because it is so short and Anyway, so White Lotus,
HBO Max. Full season available.
Yes.
Talking about HBO full season, Hawaii, and renewals. F-Boy Island was renewed.
Yay! Things like this make me feel so good about society.
I honestly don't know what the show is about. It's probably one of those bachelorettes type of show with 3 people trying to hook up with 3 people.
Is it one of the parody ones? I feel like we saw a commercial
parody? I don't think it's a parody.
No,
I think this one is a competition that people, I don't know, it's very popular in America and in the world. I think I would say in America, maybe in the world. I don't know. I know like in Brazil, for instance, Big Brother is big. But we have nothing like a bachelorette. Yeah. Ironically, I had back in the 70s.
Really?
Like when you guys had that show where people go to date and the girl is behind the thing and has 2 boys. Yeah, we had a version of that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yes, that is for those of you who enjoyed that. Don't worry, there will be more F-Boys on an island, or however that show works. They're getting a season 2.
We could have a spin-off, F-Girl, but then no, that's 2021. I guess they couldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, do you want to talk about Schmigadoon at all?
Schmigadoon. Yeah, I put it on our list because we saw the finale.
We did.
But I thought it was okay.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say about it. It was fun. It was cute.
They sing, they go to this place where they sing, and then
there are many jokes.
They locked there because of love, and they realize that they always love themselves. They always love each other. Yeah. And they get out. They don't get out. They stay there.
We don't see them leave, actually. We see them like they take, well, spoiling a little bit, but we see some resolution in their relationship, but they never actually leave Schmigadoon. Yeah. I feel like if you're really into musicals, you would get a huge kick out of this, because there are a lot of spoofs and nods and homages to a lot of, especially classic musicals.
Yeah, I love musicals, but it didn't appeal much to me.
Yeah.
I don't think the songs were like, Gallivant.
Oh my God.
Was like from the second one. It was like, I love this show. You know, and it was like, and the guy is a big music person, and he did a terrific job. It was
Gallivant solid.
Yeah, but this one is
this one. It's very pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess I don't know, some jokes they hold back, and on the other hand, some they go social in politics and some others. But as a general, like the musics and the things, it was okay. Yeah. Apple TV, Apple Plus, if you want to check. What's that bucket?
Well, you asked me, so now I forgot.
It's
she was on SNL.
Tina Fey.
Nope.
Amy Poehler.
Oh my gosh, no, her name.
Abby Elliott.
Cecily Strong.
Cecily Strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the Keegan and Peele.
Yeah.
One of those.
It's like, not Jordan Peele. It's the other one.
So Keegan. Michael Keegan. Anyways, so Schmigadoon. If you want to check, go check.
Fun, pleasant.
It starts really fun. But at the end, it was like, especially how it was like, he broke the heart of all the women in the land.
What a mess.
And it's like, they even forgive him. It's like, it's okay. It's like, what? I mean, I guess it's a very crazy, magical musical to the point that, anyways, everything's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, even everything's just constructed. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know how you were like really sad that there are only 9 Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah.
10 if you count.
We need more the family.
Yeah. It's like there's just not enough. The franchise has not produced enough material. But don't worry. In April 2023, Fast and Furious 10, count them 10, will be released.
2023 cannot get here fast enough. Yeah.
It's ironic given that it's Fast and Furious. Are you furious about how long it's going to take?
I'm furious because it's not going to be fast enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vin Diesel announced that there'll be more coming. And good. They make entertaining, fun movies.
They are.
Very diverse cast. Not pushing agendas, just there to give us fun.
Yes.
For the family.
With stellar production value and incredible practical effects.
Yes, incredible practicals. It's like stuff that you first thought, there's no way they did that. They did.
They did, yeah. You watch the behind the scenes. Okay.
Yeah.
They really went for it. And it pays off. They're so fun. Okay, Hotel Transylvania 4. Boy, there's one I didn't think would get 4 movies, but it did.
Those are fun.
They are fun. They are fun, but
the big news about it is Amazon, right? Amazon bought it for what, 200 million?
100 million.
100 million.
That's a lot of money for the 4th.
And it's not because it's a rentable franchise. It's successful in every other movie. I think it made a billion altogether. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into those details. But the big news about it is that might be causing a phenomenon that's already started in some other areas, is that streaming services, Amazon specifically, are bringing those big family movies to the streaming and kind of getting out of the theater, and the family Addams, is that the second one? I think it's the second
Addams
one.
Family.
The Addams Family. The second one was already announced that they're also gonna do the same. I can't remember the studio. I didn't write down anything, but yeah. So that's the thing. They might be bringing those families out of the theater for the anger and hate of the theater owners, but rejoice of Amazon subscribers and families that watch at home.
Yeah, especially with little kids. Like, it's fun to watch these new movies together, but at least our kids anyway. Like, we have a 4 and a 2-year-old. I don't really want to spend. I don't really want to like buy movie tickets and then spend that time chasing them around the theater. Yeah.
At least at home they watch a little bit. If they enjoy a little bit, it's worth it. They can watch again and enjoy a little bit. And bits by bits, they might enjoy the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's nothing lost if they're not into it. Anywho, Field of Dreams is getting a TV adaptation.
Yeah.
If you make it, they will watch.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because We'll see.
I'm not buying it.
I mean, that movie was great. It's a classic. Kevin Costner and a baseball movie, family movie.
Yeah.
It has everything.
Ghost in a cornfield.
A very creative story. It has the James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
If you build it, and they will come. But show how you expand on that every week a different ghost, and you're gonna try to solve the problems for the ghost so the ghosts can go beyond. I don't know, we'll see. They just announced it, and let's see what happens.
Okay. Let's spend some time with superheroes. Ironheart is going to debut in Black Panther 2.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yeah. Wakanda Forever. So Riri Williams, I think that's her name. Rory Williams?
I think Rory.
Yeah. Rory Williams, the girl that takes the suit of Iron Man and becomes the Ironheart. Yeah, you might like it or not. Anyways, she will debut on Wakanda Forever, which in my head already brings problems. Like, is she Wakandan? Is she...
Does she go to visit?
I mean, Wakanda is still not like, Disneyland. You just go there. I don't know. Anyways.
That's true.
But I mean, if she's at Wakanda, there would be a drastic change in the character.
Or if it's someone they meet when they leave Wakanda, is there going to be some of the movie take place outside of Wakanda?
Yeah, but like Wakanda, there's technology. She needs technology. Since Tony is gone, it might be a way to move away from Tony Stark, Iron Man, But
or a way to make Black Panther 2 another Iron Man movie.
Yeah, but yes.
Like
or again, if you do that too much towards Black Panther, there's she might not be Ironheart. She might be Panther Heart. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
That's all we know.
But isn't that supposed to launch a Disney Plus series? Like they're introducing the character there, and then
they have like the Miss Marvel, which is Miss Marvel. That's gonna be on the Marvel family movie. Hawkeye. That was connected to Black Widow. So this is gonna use these things to promote, debut, connect those characters with movies and shows.
They're all very interwoven.
More or less.
Which is their thing.
We'll see.
Okay, what's this I hear about a Black Canary movie?
HBO Max announced officially. I didn't put it there, but it's still about Marvel. It's confirmed that Anthony Mackie gonna be indeed Captain America on the new Captain America movie, which is not a surprise. If anything, is way too quick to announce that, so which means that Marvel is probably screwing this poor guy on his pay. They probably made him sign a deal for 6 more movies. Yeah, and the movie's gonna be hugely successful. He's not gonna get as much money. Not to talk about the whole streaming controversy with Scarlett Johansson and how Disney is making money out of a movie and she's not getting a penny from it. Anyways, so about Black Canary, Canary, and that version of the Birds and Prey Black Canary. So, but she's gonna get her own movie on HBO Max.
Is it gonna be that Black Canary?
Yes. Nice. Yeah. She was on Twitter and she was like, "Oh, I finally can talk about it. It's gonna be me." Blah blah blah. And I don't know. Not about race, but like there's some comic books that Green Arrow, Oliver Queen. I mean, granted, he's just very suspicious when he's talking about Black Canary, but he says that she's the most beautiful woman that exists, the most beautiful woman on the planet. That girl's not the most beautiful woman. So, anyways. Black Canary movie following the movies that HBO Max announced. They announced Batgirl. They announced what else?
Gosh, I don't even remember.
They announced Batgirl, which is it's gonna be a black girl. But Blue Beetle.
Yes, I was trying to think who else it was.
And there was something else, right?
Zatanna?
No, Zatanna's not officially announced.
Oh.
Those I think they are officially announced with casting.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's another girl. But it's like one of those it's like this really diverse, weird casting that causes controversy everywhere. I can't remember what is the other one. I can't remember.
All I can think of right now is Zatanna.
Yeah.
But
Zatanna and Constantine, there are rumors about it, but it's nothing official.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. Let's see if they finally put Zatanna together with Constantine. But it's like it seems like they putting Constantine towards this whole bisexual aspect, and by bisexual they kind of completely eliminate the fact that bi means two, so you would have things with women too, and he marries Zatanna in the books. But it's like they're moving away from that because it's like a man marrying a woman.
It's a way to diversify.
How could you? It's 2021. You can't do that. Anyways, but yeah, something Smollett, Jesse Smollett. No, that's her brother, right?
Yeah.
That was beat by guys that he paid to be beat.
Yeah, that's a sketchy thing. I can't remember her name now. It's very similar.
Yeah, the last name is the same.
Yeah, but it's like Julie
Smollett.
I don't remember. I really liked her in Birds of Prey. I feel like Birds of Prey is an underrated film.
I mean...
And I thought she was
It's on HBO Max. Let's see. It has potential. It could be fun. There's other people talking about who's going to be Oliver Queen. But, I mean, if Oliver Queen is there... I'd rather have...
Journey is her name.
Journey?
Yeah, Journey Smollett.
Journey. Oh, interesting. I've made up name. But
most of them are.
Yes.
Made up at some point.
But yeah, if Oliver Queen is there, I think it's gonna take away from. She can have a solo adventure without.
Yeah, I'd like to see her have, and that kind of fits more with what we saw in Birds of Prey, and that whole thing. Like all of those women came together because they had been like failed, neglected, abused, exploited by men, and they came together and defeated that. And I don't know, I think it would kind of lessen that if her next screen appearance is all about a relationship with Oliver Queen.
Yeah,
I think she needs a chance to stand on her own.
Yeah,
I have nothing against her having a relationship with Oliver Queen. I think that's great, but I'd like to see her stand on her own and develop more as Black Canary, because she didn't really get into Black Canary in Birds of Prey. She was like starting like, I don't know if this is who I want to be. Never mind, these are terrible people. I have to stop them. Yeah. So I'd like to see her develop on her own before.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's it. Black Canary on HBO Max soon. Who knows when? Last but least, Daniel Villeneuve? David Villeneuve? Denis Villeneuve? Denis Villeneuve, the director of Dune, was saying that having his movie on streaming, it would be on TV. It would be like having a speedboat on a bathtub. It's not it. He should go to the screen, the big screen, and the movie looks like it will look beautiful. It does,
and I feel like, is he being a little bit of a prima donna? Maybe. But I feel like when you make films like he does, he's earned the right. I'll allow it. And we'll go see it.
And I mean,
IMAX,
it's not. I mean, from the way he says, it's not about money. It's always about money. But it's not like he's talking about money. He's talking about like how I make this big thing.
This was made to be seen and experienced. And
felt it when and But anyways, different times, different ways to do things. But that's it. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Yeah, so that's it for this week. We see you next week with more pop culture news and movies.
Live long and prosper.
May the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.